War has changed. We no longer fight with swords. We no longer fight with spears. Today, the battlefield is verbal, the weapon is language, and the casualty is your reputation. Every single day, you are in a war. You argue with your boss. You negotiate with your partner. You debate with your friends. You fight with strangers on the internet. And most of the time, you lose. You lose because you get emotional. You lose because you try to use logic on an emotional person. You lose because you do not understand the mechanics of power. Winning an argument is not about being right. Let me repeat that. Winning has nothing to do with the truth. History is full of people who were right and ended up in prison or dead or forgotten. Winning is about influence. It is about status. It is about controlling the frame of reality. In this audiobook, we are going to download a new operating system into your brain. We are going to teach you the art of verbal domination. We will combine the Socratic method used by ancient philosophers with the negotiation tactics used by the FBI and the psychological tricks used by master manipulators. You will learn how to dismantle someone's belief system without raising your voice. You will learn how to make your opponent agree with you and think it was their idea. You will learn how to win before you even speak your first word. This is not a guide on how to be a bully. It is a guide on how to become untouchable. Put on your headphones. Turn off the world. Let us begin the training. Chapter 1. The definition of victory. Before you enter the arena, you must define what winning means. Most people think winning means forcing the other person to say, "I was wrong and you are right." This never happens. Human beings are ego-driven creatures. If you destroy someone with logic, if you humiliate them, if you back them into a corner, they will not agree with you. They will hate you. And if they hate you, you have lost. So what is victory? Victory is getting what you want while keeping your hands clean. Sometimes winning means silencing the opponent so they stop attacking you. Sometimes winning means convincing the audience, not the person you're arguing with. And sometimes winning means walking away and letting them drown in their own stupidity. You must choose your objective before you open your mouth. If you're arguing with a police officer, winning is not proving you know the law. Winning is not getting a ticket. If you're arguing with your spouse, winning is not proving they are crazy. Winning is peace. The amateur argues to feed his ego. The master argues to feed his outcome. Stop trying to be right. Start trying to be effective. Chapter 2. Control the frame. Every argument takes place inside a frame. The frame is the unwritten set of rules that defines the conversation. If you're defending yourself, you are in their frame. If you are explaining yourself, you are in their frame. If you are reacting to their anger, you are in their frame. And the person who holds a frame controls the reality. Let me give you an example. Someone says to you, "Why are you always so late? You are so irresponsible." Most people react by stepping into the trap. They say, "I'm not irresponsible. There was traffic. My alarm didn't go off." You just lost. You are now a child defending yourself to a parent. You accepted their frame that you are irresponsible. How do you win? You reject the frame. You set a new one. You look at them calmly and say, "I don't think shouting is going to make us on time. Are we going to focus on the solution, or are we going to waste more time arguing?" Notice the shift? Suddenly, you are the adult. They are the child throwing a tantrum. You move the frame from "my punctuality" to your emotional stability. This is the first rule of war. Never fight on their terrain. Never defend. Always attack the premise. If they attack your character, attack their tone. If they attack your past, attack their memory. If they attack your logic, attack their intent. He who controls the frame controls the outcome. Chapter 3. The Socratic Trap. Socrates was the smartest man in Athens. He never told anyone they were wrong. He simply asked questions until they realized they were wrong. This is the ultimate weapon against arrogant people. When someone makes a stupid statement, do not fight it with a fact. Fight it with a question. If someone says, "This project is going to fail," do not say, "No, it won't. We worked hard." Instead, ask, "What specific data are you seeing that we missed?" If they say, "You are being selfish," ask, "What is your definition of selfish in this context?" Questions force the opponent to think. Most people do not think. They just feel. When you force them to think, they stumble. They stutter. Their logic falls apart. This technique does two things. One, it makes you look calm and curious, not aggressive. Two, it forces them to dig their own grave. Keep asking why. Keep asking how. How would that work in practice? Why do you believe that is true? What evidence would change your mind? Eventually, they will reach a point where they say, "I don't know." And in that moment, you have won. You didn't push them. You just let them fall. Chapter 4, Emotional Detachment. The moment you get angry, you lose. Anger is a signal that you have run out of intelligence. It is a signal that your ego is threatened. When you raise your voice, you lower your status. When you use insults, you admit you have no arguments. The most dangerous debater is the one who remains surgically calm. Imagine arguing with a doctor. The doctor tells you bad news. You scream. You cry. You blame him. Does the doctor scream back? No. He looks at you with professional detachment. Who has the power in that room? The doctor. You must treat every argument like a medical procedure. You are the surgeon. The opponent is the patient. Their anger is just a symptom. When someone tries to provoke you, realize that they are trying to drag you down to their level. They want you in the mud. Do not go into the mud. Here is a technique called the pause. When they insult you, stop. Look at them. Take a deep breath. Wait 3 seconds. And then continue speaking as if they never said anything. This silence is devastating. It tells them that their words had zero impact. It tells them that they're invisible. There is nothing more insulting to an angry person than being ignored. Stay cold. Stay detached. Let them burn themselves out. Chapter 5, Agree and Amplify. Sometimes the best way to win is to surrender strategically. This is a judo technique. When an opponent pushes you, you do not push back. You pull them. You use their own momentum to throw them to the ground. This is called agree and amplify. If someone attacks you with a ridiculous accusation, do not deny it. Agree with it and exaggerate it until it sounds insane. If they say, "You think you are smarter than everyone else," the amateur says, "No, I don't." The master says, "You caught me. I actually think I'm a god. I was just waiting for you to notice." If they say, "You are so lazy," you say, "I know. I am actually training for the World Championship of Laziness. It's hard work doing nothing." What just happened? By agreeing, you removed their weapon. You took the power out of their insult. You turned it into a joke. Now, they look rigid and humorless, and you look confident and unbothered. You cannot fight someone who agrees with you. It confuses them. It breaks their pattern. Use this when the argument is subjective or emotional. Do not use it for serious legal matters, but for social dominance. It is undefeated. Chapter 6, The Fogging Technique. What do you do when someone is rightfully angry at you? Maybe you did make a mistake. How do you win then? You use the fog. You become like a cloud. If you punch a cloud, you hit nothing. You admit the truth, but only the specific truth. And you refuse to get defensive. They say, "You forgot to pay the bill." You are always so careless. You say, you are right. I did forget to pay the bill. You stop there. You do not address the careless part. You do not make excuses. You just accept the fact. This stops the argument instantly. They have prepared a 10-minute speech about why you are wrong. But you just said, I am wrong. They have nowhere to go. The energy dissipates. Then you pivot to the solution. I forgot. I will pay it now. What do we want for dinner? You accept a mistake, but you reject the drama. You become a fog that absorbs the impact and keeps moving. Chapter 7. Labeling the dynamic. This is a technique used by FBI hostage negotiators. When an argument becomes circular, when you're going round and round, you must stop and label what is happening. You step out of the content and look at the process. You say, it seems like we are both getting frustrated. Or, it sounds like you feel unheard. Or, it seems like we are arguing about the past, not the future. When you label the emotion, you lower the intensity. It sounds like you are really angry about this. When people feel understood, their biological need to fight drops. Their amygdala, the fear center of the brain, calms down. Do not say, I understand. That sounds condescending. Say, it seems like, or it sounds like. This forces them to clarify what they are feeling. And once they start explaining their feelings, they stop attacking yours. You move from combat to therapy. And in therapy, the therapist is the one in charge. Chapter 8. Dismantling logical fallacies. Most people do not know how to argue logically. They use fallacies, errors in reasoning. If you can spot these, you can dismantle them like a sniper. Let's look at the 3 most common ones used against you. Number 1, the ad hominem. This is when they attack you instead of your argument. You are only saying that because you are man/woman/young/old. You are stupid. How to defeat it? Ignore the insult. Go back to the argument. Say, my intelligence is not the topic. The topic is the data. Can we stick to the data? Refuse to take the bait. Number 2, the straw man. This is when they twist your words to make them sound extreme. You say, I think we should save money this month. They say, oh, so you want us to starve and never have any fun? How to defeat it? Call it out. Say, I did not say that. I said we should save money. Please do not put words in my mouth. Correct the record immediately. Number 3, the red herring. This is a distraction. They bring up an old issue to avoid the current one. You are complaining about the dishes? Well, remember when you crashed a car 3 years ago? How to defeat it? Stay on target. Say, we can discuss the car later. Right now, we are talking about the dishes. Let's finish this one first. Do not chase the red herring. Stay focused. Chapter 9. Body language dominance. Your words are only the bullets. Your body is a gun. If the gun is shaky, the bullets will miss. You must master the physical stance of authority. First, the stillness. Weak men fidget. They touch their face. They tap their feet. They shift their weight. This signals anxiety. The winner is still. The winner moves slowly. The winner takes up space. Second, eye contact. We talked about this. But in argument, eye contact is a weapon. When you are speaking, look at them. When they are speaking, look at them. Do not look down. Looking down is submission. If the tension is too high, look at their forehead. It looks like eye contact to them, but it is less intense for you. Third, the voice. Lower your pitch. Speak slower. When we get nervous, we speak fast and high. Force yourself to slow down. Pause between sentences. A slow voice signals that you are not afraid of being interrupted. It signals that you expect to be heard. Chapter 10, The Art of Walking Away. We come back to the ultimate power move. Sometimes the only way to win is to leave. There are some people who are committed to misunderstanding you. There are some people who just want to drain your energy. There are some people who are too stupid to be reasoned with. Do not cast pearls before swine. If you realize the other person is not listening, if you realize they're just trying to hurt you, deploy the nuclear option. Stop talking. Look at them with a neutral face and say, I can see we are not going to agree on this. I am done. And then leave. Walk out of the room. Hang up the phone. Do not slam the door. Do not shout a final insult. Just vanish. This drives them crazy. They wanted a fight. You gave them silence. They wanted reaction. You gave them absence. By walking away, you prove that you do not need their validation. You prove that your peace is more important than their opinion. And that is the ultimate victory. Conclusion, the responsibility of power. You now possess the tools. You know how to control the frame. You know how to trap them with questions. You know how to detach from emotion. You know how to dismantle their logic. But with this power comes a warning. Do not become a monster. Do not use these tools to destroy people who love you. Do not use these tools to manipulate the weak. Use them to protect yourself. Use them to advance your truth. Use them to create boundaries. An argument is not a war to be won at all costs. It is a tool to navigate reality. Sometimes you will use these skills to win the debate. And sometimes the wisest move is to smile, say you might be right, and go back to living your life, because a true winner is the one who is at peace. This is the end of the broadcast. Go out there and never lose again.